Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be looking into the question, what qualities does your person like best about you? There are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is this crystal. Group 2 is this crystal. And group 3 is this crystal. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. Chose this crystal. So let's see, what qualities and characteristics does your person like best about you? Okay, so first card that we have is Werewolf. So this is kind of alluding to the idea that you are very versatile. There are many different sides to you that always keeps this person guessing. You are somebody that really keeps them on their toes as far as becoming more adaptable within themselves as well. Maybe you are not their usual type of person that they are drawn towards, and so you cause them to kind of move into more of an open-minded stance, or in some way you are not the kind of person that they expected you to be. Like it's a pleasant surprise, the layers that they get to know about you that are very different from kind of what a surface level or a first impression would be of you. And we also have Winter. So there's a sense here that you are very mysterious. You know kind of what to keep reserved. You have shown parts of yourself to this person, your personality. They find that to be very intriguing, but there's still so much that kind of compels them to seek and sort of find opportunities to create sacred space with you, where you both can kind of share some things that don't normally come to the surface in connections. There's a sense that they are very drawn to almost like a guardedness about you that really encourages and compels them to sort of do extraordinary or out of the ordinary things in order to kind of warm you up to the idea of them. There's a desire to sort of cross those boundaries and thresholds, but not in an invasive sort of way, almost like earning the right to come in closer to your life, or for you to kind of open up to them more. It's almost like the way that you carry yourself with a lot of self-respect, dignity, self-love that is embodied in kind of everything that you share, but also what you kind of keep for yourself. It is definitely enticing your person, or is making them sort of set you apart from other people that they've dated in the past, other people that they've known in the past, other people that they've encountered in general. And we also have Mystic, devotion. So there's a sense of almost like a sacred energy, your aura, your glow, the way in which you maybe prioritize or focus on your spiritual life as equally important to, you know, whatever you have going on in your physical reality, your emotional well-being, prosperity in different sorts of ways. They're seeing your spiritual side as a part of that wealth of who you are. This kind of ties into the idea as well of almost you have opened this person's mind to different sort of belief systems, or a different kind of way of moving through the world, questioning things, looking at themselves as well. You've almost kind of led by example and have caused this person to start to focus more on these kind of subtle aspects of self, or of their life that maybe had been underdeveloped, or they just had not ever really connected with anyone before that sort of shared similar kind of ideas and values about the things that are important and meaningful beyond just sort of material pursuits, or like an acquisitiveness almost that a lot of people move through the world with. There's something that you cherish and value, things that are deeper, the intangibles, the things that money can't buy. And so this is something that they find to be a very attractive and appealing quality about you. And we also have Curandera, healing. So there's a sense that being in your presence, spending time with you, having conversations with you, you give a very like warm and nurturing vibe, a very honest and direct vibe to this person that encourages them to kind of let their guard down, loosen the armor that they have around themselves as well. You've presented as a trustworthy person, somebody that feels like home, that is kind of like magnetizing them in closer. There's a sense that in the time that you've been experiencing one another, things have shifted within them energetically, emotionally, to where they feel better. Maybe they feel better about themselves, their confidence has been boosted, or even just the essence of like spending time with you. There's a curative effect to that on an energetic level, where they feel very, very revitalized rather than drained or depleted. There's a sense that they don't have to put on a show or wear a mask with you. There's kind of an open invitation to just be themselves, to just come as they are, because that's what you present to them. And so it feels like something that's a very welcome change from people that they're used to dealing with, or even previous romantic relationships where maybe it's almost like you've established a layer of intimacy with one another through this kind of healing and open exchange that may have been difficult for them to find and cultivate with other people, or maybe they've never really experienced that with anyone prior to you. And we also have Wiccan Read, ethos. So there's a sense of the way that you articulate yourself. You have made it very clear your intentions towards this person. They see you as somebody who, operates above board. You're not hiding things. Even if there's a mysterious quality about you, they don't feel manipulated. They don't feel like you're out to kind of get something from them, but that there's a genuine connection between the two of you on like a person-to-person level, a deep sort of soul frequency that you are both conjuncting with together. And so this is a sense that, the way in which you've kind of depicted your expectations, or again, you've made it clear, or, maybe even through kind of following the cues and the signs and the lead that they've taken in the situation and your responses accordingly. It's encouraging this person to trust more in the connection, or to almost seek to open up in ways to you that may be difficult for them ordinarily, or that they don't normally do with people, either at this stage in the relationship or even at all, because there's a sense that you're almost, you keep enough of yourself to yourself to be mysterious, and yet you're an open book in some kind of way, and that honesty is almost very refreshing. The way in which you are able to kind of talk about your feelings, or you've expressed your feelings or your interest or your intent towards them, is also something which is making them feel very comfortable, or feel that you're definitely a trustworthy person, somebody that's worthwhile as far as investing in emotionally. And we also have Cauldron, containment. So it feels that they find you to be a very sensual individual. There's a lot more than meets the eye. There's a sense that you exude this warm sort of radiance that is just encouraging them to get to know you better, deep in the connection, deep in the relationship, because there's a sense that anyone that can kind of get into that inner sanctum, anyone that is fully embraced within this kind of essence of love that you exude, is a very lucky person, is somebody who is kind of better off rather than worse for wear in the aftermath of like experiences with you. So there's a sense that they want to move in nearer. There's a desire to kind of like cuddle in close with you because of something that's just like an intangible quality that is not forced. It's not something artificial. There's an honesty about that. There's a nourishment to the experience of you, or to who you are kind of as a person in general, what they know of you, what they've experienced up to this point in time. So it's almost a sense of wanting to merge their energies even more profoundly with you. So I'm going to get some message cards. Let's see what your person wants you to know right now from their higher self. Okay, and we have, you're the only one who understands me at such a deep level. Yeah, so there's a sense that you have built quite a unique layer of intimacy with one another already at this stage of your connection. They feel like you're somebody that could be their confidant, that they could open up about things and express parts of themselves that normally they've hidden from others, or others might not have been very receptive to certain aspects of like their love language or how they can express themselves. But with you, there's just a symmetry. It happens between the two of you, energetically speaking. The points of connection that you have, it just happens very naturally. There's effort that they desire to put in with you, but at the same point in time, it's almost like they don't have to force themselves to be something other than who they are, which it feels like they value that very much about you. And we also have, I'm terrified of you. So there's a sense that this person feels that you could change their life for the better as far as love is concerned. But if you were ever to walk away from them, or the connection were to come to its conclusion for some reason, there's a sense that they would never be the same. They would never be able to get over you. You have the power to sort of build them up to the highest heights, so you could bring their world crashing down with a look or with a word. And so there's a sense that they look at you with a lot of admiration and respect. It's really encouraging them to kind of pull out all the stops and approach you in a very direct and authentic and respectful, and at the same time yielding manner. And we also have, give me more time. I'm not good enough for you yet. So this person has long-term plans for the connection with you, developing that, deepening that connection. There's a sense that they want to take things slow. They want to savor every moment with you, kind of learning from you, growing and evolving as a person. There's a desire to sort of evolve and step into an experience of thriving in love, which they may not have ever had before or haven't had in a long time. And there's a sense that you are the person that they could walk forward into the future with, and things would look brighter. You're the kind of person that would stand by them even in difficult times, which it feels like is making them feel very certain about you, very almost bonded to you at this particular point in time, or wanting to do whatever is necessary in order to continue to kind of unfurl into the most complete version of themselves in order to align very deeply with you. And we also have, you are always so sweet. So there's a sense that you light this person up from the inside. There's a palpable glow about them. Maybe other people have noticed this as well in the time that you've been interacting with one another. There's a sense that they daydream about you a lot. They fantasize about you a lot, about your essence, about who you are as a person. You bring a lot of joy and positivity into their life, and they also see that it's something you just radiate out into the world around you very naturally, which again is it's drawing them in, it's magnetizing them in closer to you. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your person, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got Y, Y, S, L, B, C, E, R, S, G, O, L, V, F, and V. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. Chose this crystal. So let's see, what are your person's favorite qualities and characteristics about you? Okay, the first one that we have is skeleton strength. So they see you as a person who has endured a lot and you have come out shining. There's a sense of your determination, your perseverance, the ways in which you continue to remain very open-hearted despite things that you've shared with them that have occurred that would have kind of caused other people to become embittered or closed off, or even just something that they can sense about you in terms of the details of things that you may not have revealed to them, that just kind of bring into your energy almost like an undertone of you have struggled in life, you've struggled in love, and yet you remain very hopeful for the future, very positive, looking for opportunities, for silver linings, becoming that if necessary. It feels that you have almost sort of reframed the idea of what this person had maybe equated with the embodiment of strength. There's almost like a quiet strength that you carry, of humility that goes along with that it feels like they find to be a very endearing and inspirational quality about you, rather than being very egoic or kind of sharing all of that and sort of seeking validation from others. You're very self-sustaining. You're very self-assured. You're very certain of the person that you have become and whatever it is that you are kind of navigating towards in the future in order to develop into. And we also have apple. So this is the energy of a temptation, a forbidden fruit, but it feels like something that you are encouraging this person to step beyond their comfort zone, loosen the boundaries or the restrictions that they may have had upon their heart, or the idea of kind of like, as far as love and partnerships, steps that they would take, or a pace of progress that they had maybe intended when they first met you or earlier on in your connection to sort of approach the situation with you, cause them to re-strategize in some sort of way. There's a sense that they don't want to miss a window of opportunity with you. You are worth the risk to kind of take a leap of faith into the unknown. There's a sense of your sweetness, the way in which you hold this person very captivated within your gaze. You give your full attention and devotion to them when you are interacting with them, when you are participating with them. There's a sense of feeling very respected and very cherished within your energy, and so it's a sense of that really encourages them to reciprocate in kind and to move in closer, to be very sweet and kind of reciprocal with you as well. We also have Kuan Yin, compassion. So there's a sense that there's almost like a quiet understanding between you and your person. You're able to really sense this sort of shifts in their moods and kind of adjust accordingly. They don't feel pressured to act or just speed up the pace of the connection in any sort of way. They feel that it's very easy to kind of move in an organic capacity with you. They feel that you are somebody who would be able to hold space for maybe wounded or broken aspects of them that other people had run from in the past, or that they had been forced to kind of just keep to themselves almost, rather than judging them or looking at them with kind of a critical eye, that you'd be able to empathize, you'd be able to understand. Maybe you have shared struggles, or you're just the type of person with a very big heart. You take people at face value. You don't judge based on past circumstances, but you're somebody that really sees into the soul of individuals and kind of makes your determination if you will have someone in your life according to the merit of what you discover in the subtle realms, which it feels like is also the experience of you or being loved by you, having romance with you. It's helping this person to look at themselves more compassionately as well, things that they had kind of shied away from sort of looking at, or maybe it held in like a place of shame or regret. There's almost a softening to that. They're able to go easier on themselves, and all of this is the byproduct of kind of the energy exchange between the two of you, or even sort of the strength that you carry has really inspired them to sort of reconfigure the way in which they hold strength within within themselves as well. We also have Our Lady of Guadalupe, unconditional love. So this kind of ties in with that compassion energy, your giving nature, your honest nature, the way in which you hold space or understanding, or you're able or willing to kind of see things from their perspective, or just sort of intuit it in some sort of way, that they feel very free to kind of evolve into a particular version of themselves that is able to sort of give and receive love with you equitably, in their own time and pace. There's not a sense of kind of like panic or urgency. There's not a sense of you putting any kind of pressure on them to be any place within themselves emotionally other than where they are, which it feels like is really helping this person to, it incentivizes them almost to open up their heart, to continue to allow their heart to open very naturally to you. And we also have Mabon, balance. So this is the energy of wish fulfillment. This is the energy of the harvest. You check so many boxes off for this person, qualities and characteristics that they maybe had chalked up to just being wishful thinking, things that they had been seeking in other people, had never found, or had been disappointed in the manifestations of how those things were found within others, that they may have just kind of tossed it aside, like these were impossible dreams. It was impossible to find all these things within one person. And now you have come along. Your connection has happened with one another. And it's a sense of you almost kind of encourage these sort of dormant seeds of potential, the way in which love between two people can feel, or a relationship between two people can feel. These things are all kind of being resurrected or brought up to the surface. You make this person very hopeful for what the future between the two of you can entail, because there's a sense that there are so many qualities about you that fulfill them, and fit them on like a deep and pervasive level as well. And we also have Ostara, incubation. So there's a sense that you are a breath of fresh air for this person. You've awakened their heart space. You've brought them back to life in some sort of way. It feels that there's a level of excitement and anticipation that they feel about the idea of kind of creating new ways to show that they care, or that there's affection, or that there's love. There's an anticipation for like, what will the next chapter in our story look like? There's a sense that you help this person to no longer look in the rearview mirror at things that had been unsuccessful in their love life previously. It's almost like in an instant their full focus was on you, and it helped almost to heal sort of a burden of trying to kind of carry a level of acceptance about things in their past that had fallen apart. You bring forth a sense of like renewal or second chances, or like, this was the opportunity I was waiting for. This is why things didn't work out with any other person, because now you've come along, and there's the ability to experience almost something very sweet and very tender, like they feel a lot of tenderness with you. You bring out a very gentle side of this person, and yet also kind of a very fecund and vital aspect of them as well, that is interested in sort of feeding into this connection and participating in a more enthusiastic way, or continuing to participate very vigorously in how you are kind of expanding your connection with one another. So let's get some message cards and see what they want you to know from their higher self. And they say, I know that you know I'm hiding deep feelings for you, and now I feel stuck. So it feels like they're trying to kind of go with the flow of the emotions that they are feeling for you, but there is an urge to just take the plunge, move very rapidly. This may be a situation where it's almost like you stirred something within this person that's like, could this be love at first sight? Is this what that means? Is this what that feels like? There's a sense of almost like wonder and anticipation for what the future can hold, but also a sense of kind of like, I can almost see our future written with one another. And so what are the next steps that we take from this point forward in order to move through kind of the natural evolution of a connection to whatever else that sort of next experience is? They also say it's heartbreaking. We can't have more than we do now. So again, this is a sense of somebody who's holding back their feelings, but not because they're uncertain. There's a sense of like, I don't want to overwhelm you with how much I am feeling so quickly. I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to do anything that might kind of interfere with a foundation that we are laying with one another, or that we need to continue to strengthen with one another. But for everything that they are like holding back at this point in time, it's almost like there's so much more than meets the eye in this situation. There's something very deep that you have stirred and awakened within this individual. And they also say, I constantly feel you running through my veins. So they definitely crave you. They crave your energy. They crave time spent in your presence. They crave the sunshine of the experience of you beaming down upon them and kind of warming them up from the inside. They feel very drawn to you on a deep and pervasive level that goes beyond emotions. Definitely could have like spiritual, energetic components to it, where it almost feels like aspects of themselves are kind of coming online or reawakening in some way that had been dormant as a result of past disappointments in love, or nobody had ever kind of touched or activated them emotionally in quite the same way that you have. And so it's almost like a renewed and yet a new version of them that is sort of rising to the surface to meet you even closer, and to move forward into whatever else might develop between the two of you. They also say you turn loose heaven within me. Yeah, so this is, again, wish fulfillment. You're everything that they have been seeking and never thought that they could find in another person. So this is definitely the enthusiasm of like, I want to make things official. I want to take things to the next level. I want to experience a more deep connection with you, because there's a sense of understanding. They're not going to find somebody like you again. So they understand that it's in their best interest to continue to be very proactive in this situation, to honor that kind of instinct or the need within to sort of take things slowly. But then it feels like they're also submitting more and more to that urge to open up in a more profound way than they have up to this point in time. So I'm going to get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your person, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got T, C, J, A, W, K, M, C, R, X, F, R, L, U, L, and A. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. Chose this crystal. So let's see, what are your person's favorite qualities and characteristics about you? First one we have is ghost. So there's a sense that you move almost with a gentleness or a passion that is very unintrusive through aspects of this individual that almost they didn't know these things were hurting, or that there was like an emptiness or a vacancy or a void, and yet your presence has kind of filled in these empty rooms within their heart, within their mind, within their psyche, within their life. There's a sense that they love the fact that they can't get you off their mind. They feel your energy everywhere. It's a sense that it's almost very comforting to be connected to you. in a way that is not intrusive or invasive, but almost a sense of there's a yielding, like they're encouraged to yield certain aspects of themselves. You help this individual to kind of feel less alone in the world, so they definitely may feel that they've encountered a kindred spirit in you. We also have werewolf. So this talks about your versatility, the way that there are many different aspects of you that keep this person constantly on their toes. They themselves are now challenged to kind of rise to the occasion and evolve in certain ways within themselves or within their life that they had been kind of settling or had become stuck or stagnant. You bring forth almost a flow of vitality very naturally within them, following your lead and example, even just energetically speaking or emotionally speaking, ways in which you've been open with them emotionally that has encouraged them to kind of match your energy in some way. It feels good. It feels very refreshing. It's almost like you help to kind of take a weight off of this person that they didn't even know that they were carrying inside. You rejuvenate them. You help them kind of to feel that maybe love isn't so scary, or love doesn't have to be so much work or so much kind of heavy lifting. It almost just flows very naturally between the two of you. We also have threshold intention. So they love the fact that you are somebody with healthy boundaries. You mean what you say. You follow through on promises that you make. You may be somebody who's very determined, very goal-oriented, which it feels like encourages this person to understand that to move deeper into a connection with you wouldn't require them to kind of abandon their own sort of aspirations or things that they have going on in their life. That there's a sense that you are very self-focused and very directed towards your abundance, or continuing to kind of nurture the things that matter to you, to where you kind of help to sort of quiet a fear that there'd be an expectation that they sort of give up aspects of themselves and kind of just lose themselves within the connection, which may have happened in previous circumstances. This person could have dealt with like codependency in the past, or people that kind of expected them to shut down certain aspects of themselves in order to only express certain facets that were acceptable within the confines of the relationship, or according to kind of the expectations of whoever they were in romantic connection with. But there's a sense that you honor this person's personal space, their personal boundaries, and you lead by example in terms of you maintain your autonomy, you maintain your individuality, and it gives them license to do the same. So there's a lot of freedom. There's a feeling of freedom within the experience of being connected to you, or the dynamic that you have with one another currently, that there's a bondedness, there's a closeness, but there's also sort of an unspoken or even kind of direct encouragement that you've given for them to just be themselves, continue to live their life, and you will do so accordingly in your own way. And then it's an invitation to kind of meet in the middle and co-create something very unique that sort of fits both of your needs. We also have snake life force. So there's a sense that they love the way in which you express yourself creatively, your vitality, your essence, the way that you sort of seize the moment of every day. You turn challenges into opportunities. You are a wonderful manifester, an active co-creator of the life that you are currently living, or something that you are striving toward, which it feels like encourages this person as well to sort of think outside of the box in terms of goals and dreams that they have for themselves, or the idea of like future aspirations for your connection. There's almost a sense that they feel very invited to kind of just loosen up within themselves, to kind of relax within the situation. There's a sense about kind of being drawn towards you, almost mesmerized by you in the way that you move through the world, almost kind of in alignment in a way with sort of even future goals or experiences experiences that may not be materialized in the here and now yet, and yet there's communion between yourself and these future things, like a certainty that all will be well in the end, which it feels like helps to kind of lift this person as well out of energies of uncertainty or being just too specifically focused in the here and now. You encourage this person to sort of dream of a better tomorrow and to see themselves walking with you hand in hand towards that better future. We also have ancestors, remembrance. So there's a sense that you honor where you've come from, but you're also very open to kind of explore and evolve beyond the person that you were or who they met kind of and experienced with you earlier on in the connection versus kind of who you have continued to grow into. It brings forth almost like a spiciness or a vitality or like an unpredictability that is very nurturing for them in a way, encouragement that they're free to kind of step beyond the confines of who they have been, to explore, to express themselves in a variety of ways that they may not have ever done before. It feels like you encourage them to sort of look at all the ways in which they had been settling into kind of just a certain version of themselves, and it's a sense that through the experience of you and kind of what they've seen, how you've blossomed into a different version of yourself through kind of the exchanges between the two of you, it encourages this person to be less fearful of change or less fearful of what the future can hold. So it may even be that you're helping this person to kind of erase a degree of pessimism or trepidation that they had at the idea of like romance or a deep connection with another person. It's almost the sense that with you, it's the sky's the limit as far as what can happen. Their past, their personal past romantically, does not need to dictate what can develop in the future between the two of you. We also have hand fasting union. So this person may envision you as the one. They can kind of see themselves continuing to explore uncharted territory with you, romantically speaking. And it feels like this is all because you are very committed to your path, to who you are as a person, to whatever kind of your experiences in the past were that necessitated you evolve into a very particular version of yourself. You're fiercely loyal to that, and yet you've also created space within yourself, within your heart, to kind of invite this person in and to settle down within the essence of you. So there's a sense that you honor who you are, but you're also very giving to the nature of what you have and what you're creating and what you're experiencing with one another, which is drawing this person in even closer, with a sense of almost like to be united with you in a very permanent way, would also speak to a continued degree of freedom for themselves and kind of whatever sort of life calls them towards in the future, that would be very much supported by you in all ways. So let's get some message cards and see what this person wants you to know from their higher self. And they say you leave me breathless and without words. So it feels like they are very captivated by just watching you move through the world, watching the ways in which you express love. There's a sense that it almost entices them to kind of expand beyond a perception of what connection between two people can be. There's a deep sense of intimacy, almost a fluidity between the two of you that it feels like turns them on in a lot of ways that they didn't even know were possible. It's almost like you spiritually stimulate this person. You energetically kind of bring them to life in some sort of way. Who you are as a person, who they have watched you grow and develop into, just on your own path and journey, and also through the experience of connecting with you romantically. It's definitely inspired this person to, contribute more to the connection between the two of you in order to foster the continued growth. And they also say, I feel so much beauty, harmony, sweetness, and shelter between us. So you definitely feel like home in a very positive way. You feel like someone that they want to come home to every day. They want to wake up next to you. They want to continue to build a life with you, to seek to deepen the experience of that you have with one another, of getting to know kind of your emotional needs, wants, desires, goals and aspirations that you're working toward in the material world. And there's a desire here to really be a supportive partner for you in that, because they feel very supported by you as well for who they are as an individual and whatever they have going on in their life. And they also say, I want to give you the world. So this person wants to make up for everybody in your romantic past that undervalued you, passed you by, hurt you, mistreated you in some sort of way. There's a sense that they want to fill in those empty spaces with something better for you. They want you to feel very protected, very cherished, very seen, and very accepted as a person, because you do that for them as well. And they also say, I'm taking my time. We have all the time in the world. So they are savoring the experience with you, really in the moment with you. There's a sense of almost like an inevitability of something more permanent between the two of you in the future. And so almost kind of like taking their time at this sort of threshold before the next kind of layer between the two of you breaks through the horizon. And you're both in the midst of that, of kind of moving through the intensity and the deepening of the romantic experience between the two of you. So let's get some initials. Can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your person, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got N, P, M, T, H, J, F, C, E, V, G, O, W, W, P, Z, and X. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.